Damn, Jadakiss has got a really nice bust. Nah, that's kinda creepy. What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're an indie artist looking for an album review and some promo, you can hit up Luke at redmattersite.com. And what I have for you boys and girls today is a review for Jadakiss's new album, Top 5, Dead or Alive. And before we get into this, I just gotta say one thing. Jadakiss is not in my top 10, and he's damn sure nowhere near my top 5. But that's nothing against Jadakiss, because I think he's pretty dope, and he's been pretty consistent, because he doesn't switch his style up too much. But after listening to this album, it definitely doesn't help his claim as top 5 Dead or Alive. In fact, I thought this came across as more of a mixtape to me, and a lot of that has to do with how basic and formulaic some of these songs are. For just a couple of examples, there's one song that features Future that is just a banger with bars about moving weight and working the scale, called You Can't See. It's just a really generic track. And then there's a song called So High with some smooth production and a Wiz Khalifa feature. And this one is all about smoking weed. And honestly, I'm just tired of these songs about weed featuring a Wiz Khalifa verse. I mean, do we really need more of that? It's like how they keep making more and more of those Land Before Time movies. I think they're done now, but they made what, like 10 or 11 of those? Do we really need that? I mean, of course dinosaurs go through some bullshit, but I don't need to see it every damn year. Land Before Time was a classic, and they ruined it. And another song that kind of follows just a basic formula or blueprint is the poppy inspirational track 1 Mile to Go. And while I do appreciate the positive inspirational lyrics that Jadakiss was going with here, the overall sound was just kind of cheesy to me. It has these female pop vocals on the hook, some 80s drums, and just some gentle piano. It kind of came across like something that'd be on the radio, or maybe a soccer mom would listen to it. And it's not helped out by some of the lines that Jadakiss spits on this, like when he says, "It's like you're at a seminar on the panel of life." That just... man, that was some MAGA cringe. That was some Hobson level shit right there. But I'm not saying that Jadakiss is the only rapper to follow these basic formulas, because a lot of rappers do. It's just that if you're going to make an album claiming your top 5 Dead or Alive, you got to bring some more original shit or play to your strengths. But some of these songs just seem like Jadakiss is out of his element and just trying to keep up with trends more than anything else. But sometimes those formulaic tracks do work. Like I thought Critical with Jeezy, it was pretty basic. I mean, it's just a banger about drugs and hustling, as you would expect, but the production is really dope and it slaps, so I can't really hate on that one. And Synergy with Styles P, man, that was some fire. That was a whew, wipe my brow song right there. I mean, Jada and Styles show their chemistry by going back and forth over this great string production from Just Blaze, so there's not really much more that you could ask for. I thought that one was dope, and it was basically like We Gonna Make It Part 2, so I love that song. And another song I found to be kind of interesting was Kill. This whole song sounds like it's outdated. The beat just has these simple horns that sound like some early Cash Money shit or something like that. And it features Lil Wayne rapping without auto-tune. And I prefer that Lil Wayne to auto-tune Lil Wayne. So if that's what he's doing on No Ceilings 2, that upcoming mixtape he has, then maybe he'll be alright. But he still comes through with some of those corny, questionable Wayne lines. Like when he says that a girl is a cancer, so he hits her with that chemo dick. I was just like, what? Now another one of the standout tracks on here to me is the single Jason, and what I really like about this one is the production. It just has these long, drawn-out, grimy strings that kind of remind me of the song None of Y'all Better from off Jadakiss's first album, Kiss the Game Goodbye. It also has Swizz Beatz coming through with just some basic bars in his hype style, and Jadakiss's lines weren't anything over the top to me either. I mean, he makes some references to guns and drugs, like he always does, and even the references to Eric Garner and Mike Brown didn't do much to uplift this track, but I'm sure some of you out there are going to tell me how I'm so wrong about his lyrical content. You're going to pick these songs apart and say there's all kinds of dope shit in there, because I know a lot of people think Jadakiss is top 5, and I am not a Jadakiss hater. I mean, I've been listening to him since that early Bad Boys shit, when they were getting jiggy with it and all that, you know what I mean? If you think I'm jiggy, but man, I don't know. He's consistent, but he just has the same sound, and he's just doing the same shit more or less. And again, this album does nothing to make me consider him top 5 Dead or Alive. I actually think his other albums are better than this, and a lot of his mixtapes are better than this. Now, as for other features, we get Young Buck and Sheek Louch on The Realest in the Game. And this track isn't awful, but it's also not great. It's not one of those songs that's going to make an album, and it's not one of those songs that's going to break an album. Just has some generic horn production, some hard verses from Sheek, Jada, and Young Buck, so it is cool, but after I heard it, I didn't really feel like I needed to come back to this one, but if you just want a banger that's aggressive, you might like this one more than me, and I can understand why people will love this one. And on Youthful Offenders, we get a rare Akon appearance on a song that's all about some of the street shit that goes on. In the first two verses, Jadakiss is talking about two kids he knows, one who is deep in the streets, the other one who's in jail, and on the third verse, he just spins some OG knowledge and drops some G-code. And I know I'm kind of bouncing all over the place with this review, but that's just because I was passionate about this, man. If you're going to claim top 5 Dead or Alive, you better come with some fire shit. But a lot of these tracks were kind of meh. There's also Man in the Mirror, where Jadakiss gets deep over some buzzy synth production and works some sing-songy flows on the hook. And on this one, he's rapping about how the only people he fears are himself and God. And he also touches on some of the hometown hate that he receives coming out of Yonkers. And the last track that I'm going to touch on here is Rain, because this was one of my favorite tracks on the album. It has Styles P and Jada going back and forth on the hook, and it also has all these metaphors and references to rain. There's a great verse on here from Nas, but it's not really mind-blowing, but the whole song came together pretty well, and the beat has a little bit of a Rick Ross lavish feel to it. So the overall idea of this track was cool, just looking at Rain and how you can compare it to The Struggle, how it makes you feel, and just different imagery and metaphors. So this album does have a couple of bright spots. There were a couple things that I liked about it, but at the end of the day, I have this one at a 3 out of 5. I know it seems like I was ripping this one apart, but again, if you're going to claim top 5 Dead or Alive, I'm going to expect some blazing fire, and like I said, I like his other albums better than this. In fact, I think Kiss the Game Goodbye is a borderline classic, but maybe that's just because of the nostalgic feel that I get when I go back and listen to it, but I thought he had great production on there, great features, just a lot of good songs, so I might have to do that one for the archives soon. But that's just what I thought about this. Hit me up in the comments section and let me know what you think. I really want to know, is Jadakiss top 5 Dead or Alive, top 10, 15, 20? Where do you feel that he falls? And what do you think about this album? Does it live up to what you would expect from someone who says they're top 5? Because clearly, I don't think it does. Again, tell me what you think, and make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff, where you like my videos, you share them, you follow me on Twitter, you retweet the videos, and you especially subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.